Hey everyone, welcome to the TechAutos.com unboxing of T-Mobile USA's version of the HTC Touch Pro 2. Now this phone is the successor to HTC's original Touch Pro, which AT&T, Sprint, and Verizon sell here in the US, but which T-Mobile never picked up. Now in fact, the Touch Pro 2 is T-Mobile's first new Windows Mobile professional device since the Wing came out way back several years ago. So it really makes sense that T-Mobile was the first out of the gate with this one. Now onto the device here. Here's the box you'll get if you go to a T-Mobile store and pick up a Touch Pro 2 today or order it online. It's actually a pretty small box, and it seems to be not too much larger than the device itself in most dimensions. Now if we start here, pull out our little handy blade. Here we go. So now we'll open the box, and inside here is the phone and all its 3.6-inch glory, a big WVGA screen, 800 by 480 resolution. We'll get into those specs in a little bit. I'll put this aside here. What else do we get in the box? On the left side here we have a little pouch, and if we open this up here, we have some applications. This is a trial version of Outlook, SIM card, and owner's manuals, and tips and tricks, screen protector. And if we look on the right side here, underneath this little foam padded section for the device itself, we have USB, mini USB, or rather HTC's EXT USB on one side, and USB on the other for connecting to your PC and charging. Here we have a set of headphones, that, again, EXT USB. This phone, unlike the Sprint and Verizon version that will be coming up in about a month's time, does not have a 3.5mm jack. What else do we get here? We have an AC adapter. Interesting shape here. Presumably this here will plug into whatever country socket you have. So in here we have a US plug that slips into here. We also get battery, a carrying case. Now this is a little bit interesting because it does seem like a decent case, but and it has a magnetic slot, which we'll see here, but no belt clip, so not exactly sure where you'd use this. And here, of course, is our dongle cable. Now this goes from EXT USB on one side, which connects to the bottom of the phone, and on this side we get another EXT USB. On the side we get the 3.5mm jack for headphones, 2.5mm jack for some older cell phone headphones, and on here is another EXT USB jack for HTC headphones. So that's what we get in the box. Now if we take a look at the device itself. So here we are with the device. This is the HTC Touch Pro 2 T-Mobile version. And we can see it's not a very heavy device. It's some initial reports said it was very heavy, and actually feels lighter than you might think, looking at it. That said, it is quite a thick device. If you compare it to, say, an iPhone, not really much of a comparison. It's several millimeters thicker than the iPhone, but that's obviously because it has a nice large slide-out keyboard, which we'll get to in a second. Okay, so looking at the screen here, here is the slide-out keyboard. The claim to fame is this nice big large keyboard, and actually it will pop up just like the HTC Titan 2 did. But interestingly, the Touch Pro, the direct predecessor of this device, did not have this tilt-up keyboard, so it's nice to see HTC bring that back. Now if we look around the device, at the top we have just a power button. On the left side are the volume rocker up and down, and the micro SD slot. Now what's interesting about the micro SD slot is that the HTC version, the original HTC version, which you can buy in Europe and other places, actually does not have an externally exposed micro SD slot. You have to open up the battery cover to insert your card. So T-Mobile's version potentially has this advantage of having this slot here. Now unfortunately it's nearly impossible to actually open this slot without taking off the battery cover, so that sort of negates the advantage of the T-Mobile redesign. Now if we go to the bottom of the device, we have the HTC EXT USB slot, which is again the USB and headphones built in. Again, the Sprint and Verizon versions, the CDMA versions of this phone, which will be coming out in September, at least the Sprint version, we don't have final timings on the Verizon version yet. The CDMA version will have a separate 3.5mm jack right here. So those of you on CDMA networks, stay tuned for that. Now on the right side of the device, not much to see here, just a reset hole and a secondary microphone for the Straight Talk speakerphone feature, which is again one of the key features in the device that we'll get to in our full review. At the bottom we see a stylus that comes out of the bottom right of the device, and a little bit hard to get out initially. It's a relatively small stylus, not magnetic. Okay, going to the back of the device, we see a 3.2 megapixel camera with autofocus. There is no flash here. On the back though, there is a mute button that's used for the conference feature that we'll get into again in the full review. Overall, the device is slightly different from the original HTC version. Most of the main features are the same, you know, the screen, the zoom bar, the 4 buttons at the bottom. What has been changed is the phone no longer has the chrome surround that the HTC version does. The HTC version is a little bit more rounded, this is more squarish, but overall this actually looks, the T-Mobile version is better in person than it looks in photos. It looks like a very solid, sleek, sophisticated business device. And in our full review, we'll get into more as to what this looks like.